Leo lovers, it's Leo and his mom Amy. You may have seen us on TikTok and Instagram where I post pictures and videos of Leo, which, by the way, you should go and follow us on them if you haven't already. But I realized that I've never done a story time talking about how I adopted Leo. So today, I'm going to be talking about how I got Leo and how he got his name. So be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications if you want to see more Leo content. Okay, so it was December 30th, 2020, and we were at my boyfriend's family's house in mid-Michigan. And if you know anything about Michigan during December, you'll know that it is freezing and it snows like crazy. So it was cold that night, and my boyfriend's mom mentioned to us that a cat had been hanging out around their house for about 2 weeks, and that he was super friendly. I guess the next door neighbor had been leaving out food for him and built him a little structure to sleep in. But unfortunately, the neighbor had a roommate that didn't like cats, so he couldn't take the cat in. So we went outside to meet the cat, and he came right up to us and let us pet him. We thought this was kind of strange for a stray to be so affectionate, but we brushed it off. After thinking it over for a couple hours, my boyfriend, his family, and I decided that we would take him in. So I ran out into the snow. I remember that he was hiding under a trailer and was cold and wet from the snow. He let me carry him inside and seemed happy to be in the warmth, but he did not like my boyfriend's family members' dogs. So we had to keep him exclusively in my boyfriend's room. We didn't really have any cat supplies, and it was pretty late at night, so we gave him some water and some of our dinner that we had that night, which just so happened to be lasagna. I know what you're thinking. We definitely considered naming him Garfield after that, but we decided it didn't really fit him. Anyway, he loved the lasagna and seemed to really warm up to us. Here is a picture of Leo on his first night with us. You can tell that he's a bit scared, but I think he knew that we were going to take care of him. I remember that he was a very talkative kitty and was meowing like crazy for the first night. He still meows like crazy today because he's got a lot to say, as you just heard. Anyway, the next day, we took him to the vet, and he didn't have a microchip, so he was officially ours. The vet told us that he looked to be around 1 year old, so we made his birthday exactly a year before we got him. So we thought at first that he must have been a stray, but some of his behaviors told us otherwise. Firstly, he was extremely friendly with humans, and most stray cats that don't grow up as kittens with humans would be pretty wary of us. Also, he immediately knew what his litter box was for, and we didn't have to train him at all, which was kind of weird for a cat that had supposedly never used a litter box before. Also, he was incredibly well groomed for a stray. His fur was super shiny and well kept, and he looked well fed. He wasn't skinny at all. He even seemed to be used to wearing a collar when we put it on him. So all of these things together made us believe that he must have had a previous owner, although they must not have cared much about him considering he'd been missing for at least 2 weeks and no one came looking for him. I don't know who his previous owner was and why they left him out in the freezing cold, but I hope they know that he's a famous catfluencer now and is thriving. Anyway, on a lighter note, you're probably wondering, why do we choose the name Leo? We're in college right now, and he's a political science and history major, so he jokingly said he wanted to name him after a famous historical figure like Leon Trotsky. I didn't like the name Leon, but I did like the shortened version, Leo. Plus, I thought it suited him because, you know, he's orange and he looks a bit like a lion, hence why his username is Leo the Cutest Lion. So as bizarre as it is, Leon Trotsky technically inspired his name. As for how he ended up living with me, when my boyfriend and I moved back to college, he needed to stay with one of us because we were taking care of him. His family just allowed us to have him at their house. My boyfriend is an RA in the dorm, and pets aren't allowed in the dorm, so I found an apartment that allows cats, and he's lived with me for over a year now, and he loves it, and I love it too. Of course, my boyfriend comes over all the time and helps take care of Leo, but I still think Leo likes me the most. Don't tell him I said that. As for how he got started on social media, I started filming videos of him and posting them on TikTok in January of this year, just for fun and to show off how cute Leo is. And from there, thousands of people have watched and liked his content, so thank you to all of our friends. Leo and I love you. Anyway, that's Leo's adoption story. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments, and maybe we'll do a Q&A video answering them in the future. Also, let me know any video ideas that you'd like to see from me and Leo. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends!